Recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to encourage the passage of H.R. 2274, the Small Business Mergers, Acquisitions, Sales, and Brokerage Simplification Act. Maybe we need to work on the titles getting a little simpler, too. But it's very complex. It's a very complex set of laws and rules that have been put in place. And I do want to say thank you to my subcommittee chairman, Mr. Garrett, and Ranking Member Sewell for their work on this, as well as Chairman Hensarling and Ranking Member Waters, as we've explored this and have dove headfirst really into this issue. You know, it's been estimated, Mr. Speaker, that there's approximately 10 trillion, that's trillion with a T, privately owned, small family-owned type businesses that will be sold or potentially closed in the coming years as baby boomers retire. Now, we want to see one of those things happen. We want to see people to see the fruits of their hard work over the years, and we want to see them be able to sell those companies. We don't want to see them close them unnecessarily, because we know the impact that happens to small communities, much like has happened in some of my hometown communities when we've seen that happen. Mergers and acquisitions are also known as M&A. Brokers play a critical role in facilitating the transfer of ownership of these smaller privately held companies. Currently, all M&A brokers are subject to costly, burdensome regulatory requirements which adversely impact and unnecessarily increase the costs that business owners incur when they buy or sell their businesses. And often we have heard anecdotally and statistically that they have to make a decision sometimes. They can't move ahead and can't really afford to sell that small, literally sometimes corner store, mom-and-pop type operation, and so they end up closing it, and they can't because they can't afford to go through with that sale. In fact, this issue has been highlighted by the SEC's Forum on Small Business Capital Formation, which for the last 7 consecutive years, that's over the last 2 administrations, this current administration and the last administration, has repeatedly recommended that the SEC modernize and streamline the regulation of M&A brokers, but unfortunately the SEC has never acted on these recommendations. Well, we think the time is up. We believe that 7 years is long enough. It's time that this body and hopefully our colleagues in the Senate as well will take this bill and finally put some closure to this issue. That's why I, along with Reps. Brian Higgins and Bill Posey, introduced H.R. 2274. This bipartisan bill would create a simplified system for brokers performing services with the transfer of ownership of smaller privately held companies. By simplifying the regulation and reducing the cost of these business brokerage services, these smaller privately owned companies would be able to safely, efficiently, and effectively be able to transfer their company, preserving jobs currently in existence, while also allowing for continued economic growth and job creation to take place at these companies. There's no risk to the public. There's no threat to the safety and soundness of our economics system. But it is very, very important to those communities that have these kinds of businesses in them and where they're located. In October of 2013, a piece in the Hill newspaper, Michael Nall, president of the Alliance of M&A Advisors, a leading international organization serving the middle market M&A industry, stated, quote, H.R. 2274, the Small Business Mergers, Acquisitions, Sales, and Brokerage Simplification Act of 2013, is an excellent bipartisan bill, one whose time has come, and Congress should get it done before the end of the year. We're sorry, Mr. Nall, we're a little behind schedule, but we're getting there. He goes on, it's not a sexy bill, not one that primetime TV will be talking about, and not one that will evoke a question in the next presidential debates, but it's a bill that does have teeth, and it is a serious and substantive piece of small business legislation, close quote. Well, maybe we can inject this into the next presidential election, because this ultimately is about the foundation of our country. It's about that ability for entrepreneurs to go out, strike out on their own, go become successful, and then reap the rewards of that, and all the while providing jobs to communities like we all represent. Well, in today's highly charged political environment, it's nice to show the American people that positive, effective initiatives can be considered and passed with strong bipartisan support. In fact, this important legislation, as has been mentioned, overwhelmingly passed Financial Services Committee by a bipartisan vote of 57-0. It's legislation like H.R. 2274 that demonstrates Congress can act in a bipartisan manner to positively impact the lives of Americans. So, Mr. Speaker, with that, I urge a yes vote on this legislation. I look forward to working with my Senate colleagues to see H.R. 2274 make its way to President Obama's desk. And again, I want to thank Chairman Garrett for his leadership on this issue. And with that, I yield back.